And now I am going to introduce our founder, the wonderful, the fabulous, the amazing Miss Sheri Lewin.
Thank you, Leanna. I'm glad to be here once again. I was thinking back to the very first Teen Advisory Council meeting that we had in May of 2016. So we've just hit the 5-year mark. And for those of you that were on the TAC for the last 6 months, you got to be part of our 5-year anniversary when we incorporated. But for the TAC members that are joining for the next 6 months, the big celebration is that in October, we'll mark the date of our very first event that we had as an organization. And that was our Teen Summit in October of 2016. So I have been living here since 1999. I have had 2 daughters graduate from Southlake High School. My son graduated from Montverde Academy. So my youngest is about to be 19 in a few weeks, and my oldest is 28. So there's, I've had a long range of experience in the educational programs here in Southlake County. I have owned and operated a consulting firm that worked in environmental trading and some of the more complex wetland credit trading in the state of Florida. So I was a pioneer in that industry and started my own firm to consult in 1997 that I sold to my director of operations in 2019. So since 2019, I have been more wholly focused on Thrive. I founded it in 16 and we kind of just tried to just get things going as we could. But now, since I'm more focused on it, we're getting an organized system. We've hired staff. We're growing up, right? We're turning into adults too. We went from baby to teenager to adult. So the organization has evolved. And by way of the organization growing, we've been given opportunities for teens to sort of shadow that process. And that's really one of the main things I want to do is connect teens to the community, whether it be potential employers or those people that you could apprentice under or just networking, because really anyone can be a teacher if you look through the lens of a student. So there's me. I was raised in a very unique situation. When I was 11 years old and my brother was 9, we were court ordered to live with our father. My dad was a 40-year-old businessman. He owned the local newspaper, which was called the Dollar Saver. It was kind of like the news leader that we have here in this community. He was in the Chamber of Commerce. He was president of the chamber. He was businessman of the year. He was sort of he was a networker in town. And since I didn't have a mom really on a regular basis, I like to say I was raised by the staff of the Dollar Saver paper. So, for example, the top salesperson, Sally, would pick me up from school and we'd have to stop at the tire shop and go over the ad with them. This is the late 70s, remember? There was nothing digital. So everything was in person and on paper. And then we would leave there and we would go to maybe the dentist office and get their ad. And she would explain to me how there's different things that are important to different business owners based on the style of their business and the customers they're trying to attract. And then I would, on Mondays, work behind the counter where people place their classified ads. So a lot of individuals would come in that I would interact with, all adults, right? So I had a lot of exposure to how the business world works and how adults interact with each other, what some of the protocols are when you're asking for something or you don't even know what you're supposed to be asking for. And I also got to observe body language because I had no electronics in these meetings that I had to follow my dad and his staff around too. So I started thinking as I was raising my children, how can we create an experience like that for teens in this community? And also, there was a lack of opportunities for just the general teen population to go do activities, try new things. If those of you have lived here, you probably, I don't have to explain that to you. It's been that way since I raised all of my kids here. So one of my ideas was, why don't we see if we can get local professionals to interact with the teens and help mentor them. There's never too many mentors to have. And teens that are interested in whatever they wanted to offer for a workshop or a pop-up activity, which we're going to go over, would be very grateful to have an adult that would lead them in that. So these are my two youngest that are sort of my pride and joy. They were raised through the Thrive program. They were 13 and 15 when I started Thrive. And this is the center is Kendall, my baby. She was actually an instructor this summer at the summer pop-ups, and she is a student at University of Central Florida on one of their top merit scholarships. And she's an avid roller skater. So she ran our trail skate. And then this is my son, Jacob, who is more of my introvert. And he ran the online chess pop-up because he is a real chess enthusiast. So this is something I'm pretty proud of, is that we were able to create a program that would develop even my teens into the ability where they wanted to give back and lead others in their community in a skill that they were interested in. So that's their story. And I guess the next slide is, that's all of us. So you can see how I'm the smallest person in the family now. But that's really my motivation. That's what I work for. I am, as you saw, I ran a national consulting firm. I did a lot of networking. I mostly did marketing and networking within that industry. And so I've been taking the ideas of our Teen Advisory Council and trying to use my networking skills to make things happen in this community. So that's really my motivation. I'm here to serve you. The council is sort of my focus group. You tell me what you want, and then we go out and see if we can get it. So I'm glad you're here. Thanks for showing up.